at the structure of this ascidian tadpole, a fully developed larva is a minute about 1.5 mm long, and it is motile because of the presence of tail, and the body is covered by thin tunic or the test, which is derived by ectoderm, and it is made up of a material called as tunicin, and it has an anterior short oval head or the trunk, and posteriorly we find a long tail. And we were discussing about the structures that are seen in the head region. It mainly contains three adhesive papillae, the sensory vesicle, which in turn form the nervous system. It has got sense organs also, like the ocelli and the otocyst. It has got a sensory vesicle consisting of a sac, the floor of which supports a unicellular otolith and bearing a multicellular ocellus on the dorso-posterior wall, which is a characteristic feature of this larva. The ocellus consists of three lens cells associated with a pigmented cup formed by about a dozen pigmented sensory retinal cells. Now here is a magnified picture of the sensory vesicles. Here is a magnified picture of the sensory vesicles, wherein you can see the sensory vesicle consisting of a sac, the floor of which supports a unicellular otolith and bearing a multicellular ocellus on the dorso-posterior wall. The ocellus consists of three lens cells associated with a pigmented cup formed by about a dozen pigmented sensory retinal cells. Whereas if you go look at the tail, the tail consists of a simple epidermal sheath supporting a cuticular fin and encloses a dorsal hollow neural tube extending from the sensory vesicle to the tip of the tail, and a notochord which is present below the nerve card. Now this stage of the larva is highest in its chordate organization. When the larva swims actually through the sea by vibrating its long tail, it is unquestionably a chordate, more advanced than an Amphioxus, which is a cephalochordate in most of the aspects. Now, the notable chordate characters of this larva includes dorsal tubular nervous system, which is enlarged. Now we'll just discuss about the chordate characters of this larva. It shows dorsal tubular nervous system, which is enlarged at the anterior end, forming a sensory vesicle, and the sensory vesicle anteriorly opens into the pharynx near the mouth at a place called neuropore, which is probably homologous with that of Amphioxus. The brain has a single median eye derived from the internal wall of the hollow vesicle and possesses retina, pigment layer, a lens and cornea. It is more specialized than that of Amphioxus. Presence of an organ of equilibrium called as otocyst on the ventral floor of the sensory vesicle. Notochord is present but is restricted to the tail region. It does not extend into the pharyngeal region, although it actually extends into the trunk region of the body. It has well developed pharynx with endostyle and two pairs of stigmata is present. The atrium and the postpharyngeal portion of the digestive tract are in the early stages of development. The tail presents well developed dorsal fin folds, and the anterior end bears special papillae for attachment. The heart and the pericardium develop as diverticulum from the stomach. Now, This is how you describe the structure of this Ascidian tadpole. Now this tadpole, which shows all the chordate characters which are not seen in the adult. All these Ascidian larvae, they are lecithotrophic, which feeds on the yolk that is present in the egg. They are non-feeding and very short-lived, swims for a few minutes and then once it finds the suitable substratum, it gets attached and undergo the process of metamorphosis. Now, what is retrogressive metamorphosis? What happens in this? The process in which the transformation of active, why we call it as active? Because it has got a tail and it helps in locomotion, non-feeding, pelagic, lecithotrophic, with advanced features like notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, and the special sense organs like otolith and ocellus, it gets converted or it gets transformed into a sedentary, sessile, simple and filter feeding organism which contains only pharynx with stigmata and endostyle, which helps in the process of feeding. So this process of slow degenerative or retrogressive changes from larva with chordate characters to an adult lacking advanced characters is what is called as retrogressive metamorphosis. Now this picture explains you the complete process of retrogressive metamorphosis, starting from the release of ova. You can see here the ovum is released by the adult and then it gets fertilized. Spermatozoa is released from the other one, it gets fertilized, the ovum is formed and then it becomes fertilized egg, and then once this zygote or the embryo hatches, it becomes a tadpole larva like this, Ascidian tadpole. And here you can see after a few minutes of free swimming, this larva comes and attaches to a substratum here and then start growing. One region of this grows much faster compared to the other, and then once it gets attached to a substratum with the help of this adhesive papillae, then it attaches to a substratum like this, and then it shows the degeneration of tail and hence it becomes a sedentary form. So this picture explains you the whole process of retrogressive metamorphosis happening at each stage. So here you can also note down what is happening in this stage, which is shown in this picture. Here what is the structure of the larva, it is shown here, and the changes happening once it gets attached and what all transformation occurs is shown in this diagram. So just observe that as we go on discussing, and then it will become easy for you to understand. So here the free swimming life of the larva is very short lived, and it is non-feeding during this time, as it completely depends on the amount of yolk that is present in the egg itself. It swims for few hours and then for 3 to 4 hours in some cases, and in some cases it has been observed that they swim almost for a day and then becomes sluggish, sinks to the bottom and attaches itself by the anterior adhesive papillae. And then it shows the process of this retrogressive metamorphosis. Now during this process what happens? It's a very rapid, during this process the test, which is made up of tunnicin, it rapidly increases its secretion, and then the entire tail with its notochord is partly withdrawn and absorbed by phagocytosis. Now what triggers this? Which cells do this process of phagocytosis? The mesenchymal cells that is found scattered in the Ascidian tadpole's trunk is the one which brings in this phagocytosis, and a few part of the tail gets just casts off. The posterior part of the nerve tube disappears with the tail, and the anterior end with the ganglion and the anterior end with its promising little brain degenerates. The remaining part is reduced to form a small ganglion of the adult, underneath which is the neural gland. With the degeneration of the locomotory, nervous, and sensory organs, there is a progressive growth seen only in digestive and reproductive organs. The branchial sac enlarges, the gill slits multiply in number, and the atrium is extended. The stomach and intestine develop as an outgrowth from the back of the branchial sac at the side. The region of the body between the point of fixation and the mouth, which is morphologically ventral, increases rapidly in extent, and the true dorsal region stops growing and degenerates. This result in the body of the growing adult rotates through 180 degrees, and the branchial siphon is carried to the end opposite to that of attachment, and hence it has got a different polarity, having anterior and dorsal side towards the one end and ventral and the posterior region on the other. Thus, a degenerate sedentary fixed adult is formed with little or no trace of caudate characteristics so marked in the larval stages. Now, the major changes that involved in this process of retrogressive metamorphosis are increase in number of pharyngeal stigmata, complete disappearance of tail containing notochord and the nerve cord, disappearance of sense organs, dwindling of the central part of the nervous system into a single ganglion, and the formation of reproductive organs. To sum up, this slide gives you an idea of what are the retrogressive changes and what are the progressive changes. Retrogressive changes include shortening of tail, disappearance of caudal muscles, nerve cord and notochord by phagocytosis, adhesive papillae disappears, and loss of larval sense organs. Whereas the progressive change includes the trunk becomes pear-shaped, 4 large ectodermal ampullae develops, the mouth becomes functional and starts feeding, pharynx enlarges greatly, develops blood vessels and forms branchial sacs, stomach enlarges, liver is formed, circulatory system, heart and the pericardium becomes more functional, gonads and gonoducts appear from larval mesodermal cells, test or the tunic becomes tough, vascular, thick, attaches ascidia and grows foot if necessary. Now, what is the significance of this ascidian tadpole? It has got a taxonomic significance wherein this larva provide evidence to include ascidians under chordata, which otherwise not possible with adult. Secondly, it helps in dispersal process. The adult being sedentary, free swimming larva is only means of dispersal, thus surviving the race. And embryological significance it provides the best example of mosaic egg with well organized and pre-patterned and well differentiated ooplasm and highly determinate type of development. So this describes the structure of ascidian tadpole, its retrogressive metamorphosis and its significance. Thanks for listening to me.